Hi guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to be adding a menu bar to our application so that we can create new files using it. Let's get started. First of all, we are going to add a couple of things here to our root. A title, which we don't need for a menu, but nonetheless it looks good. And then we're going to add an option, which is a slightly confusing part of Tkinter, but essentially through these options you can change the behavior of certain elements and certain things in different operating systems. Really, you have to read the documentation for each option in order to understand what they do. But when you add an option, then Tkinter will communicate that to TK and TCL, and the UI will behave differently. In this case, we're going to add a tear off of false. And what that means is in some operating systems, the menus we'll be adding can be torn off from the interface and placed elsewhere in your screen. And we want to prevent that. So the menus that we add to our application, you won't be able to separate from the application window. That's what this option means. Now underneath main here, we're going to add a menu bar. And that is just a tk.menu. It's not a TTK menu because it's not really a themable widget, it's just a menu bar. And again, this menu bar will be different in each operating system, it will look different. For example, in Mac, it will show up here at the top of the screen. In Windows, it'll show up as file and so on. And in Linux, it'll differ depending on the distribution. Then we're going to say root.config menu is menu bar. And let's remove those spaces there. And what this means is we have created a menu bar, which is, PyCharm, file, edit, view, all of these things are one menu bar. Now we have to add a particular cascade or a particular drop-down of elements. So we're going to add one called file. So we'll say file menu is another TK menu, but now the parent is the menu bar. And we'll say menu bar.add cascade, and we'll pass in the file menu, and we'll pass in a label called file. And what that does is it creates a file element inside the menu and tells the menu bar, which is our main menu, to add it as a drop-down that you can click. Then in the file menu, we're going to add a command, not a cascade. And the command is going to have a label of new, and the command is going to be create file. Make sure to not call the create file function there, just like we had with buttons earlier on. This command is just a callable function. Oh, by the way, we do have to specify that this is a menu item that we want to add to the menu bar and not an element that we want to add to an already existing cascade inside an item. Just make sure to pass in the named argument there. Running the app now gives you the same thing that we had before, but now you can see at the top we've got a file menu that we didn't have before, and in here we have new. Whenever we click new, we run the create file function, which again creates a text area, makes sure that it fills everything inside the notebook, adds it to the notebook itself, which creates the new tab, and then selects it, which places focus on the newly created element. Again, if we type here, hello world, and then we create a new one. This one is still here in the middle. This one is now at the end, and it's the one that's selected. All right, this is how you create menus in Tkinter. First of all, you create a menu bar, which is the top level that contains all of the different menu cascades. And then you create different cascades, one for each group of actions. That's everything for this video. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.